What is college life like? Today I'm going to be talking about, what I've noticed about college, how it's like, what I would recommend. And then I've also got a few, funny stories that I will get into later. Now, first of all, college is completely different from high school. Literally, I'm sorry, but no one cares about you. When you go to high school or college, no one cares about, in high school, everyone's like, oh, it's more of a popularity contest. No, in high school, you know, again, it's a popularity contest. In college, it's kind of just like, sorry for mixing the camera, but in college, it's literally everyone's kind of doing their own thing, so no one cares about you. Unfortunately, that is just the truth. And also the other thing, you can just not go to class if you really don't want to, which I highly don't do this, don't do what I did. Go to class. It's a very smart thing. I even had a friend beforehand tell me to go to class, and I still didn't go to class, and I would still recommend that to anyone else. Just go to class. It's an easy way to get an easy good grade. You might not get 100%, but at least going will get you like majority of the way there. You can get like a C and whatnot. It depends on your major and whatnot, but obviously that sort of thing. Also, when I started college, dude, the first like a week or whatever, they were like hard pushing this idea of like, oh, you got to meet all these new people, you got to be friends. And honestly, I'm not gonna complain because I am terrible at meeting new people. So by them doing this, I was able to, meet a lot of people. It's kind of cool. And honestly, I've gotten like pretty good at that, which is really helpful because like adult life, obviously you want to be prepared for that sort of thing. For basically, meeting new people because to be honest, then you're just gonna be like alone, and who wants to be like that? So, uh, throw this eye of ender. Uh, Dude, I passed it again, and it broke. Okay, gotta be like right in this oat. So yeah, college is very different in the fact that your schedules, you kind of make your own schedule, like no one's there to babysit you. You just kind of have to, you get to do your own thing. And it's kind of nice, but it's also kind of a double-edged sword where, if you don't get your stuff done on time, uh, or, you're not paying attention in class and whatnot, you can get in real trouble grade-wise. So just go to class. It's like my number one recommendation. And the other thing again is just get used to like meeting new people, get used to saying hi, how are you? Well, not really that, but what's your name? What's your major? Where are you from? That sort of thing. Uh I've definitely gotten used to that. I've done it so many times now where it doesn't really matter. It is kind of annoying to have to do, and it's kind of a lot. Also, this cave is massive. Like, can't even see the edge of the cave. But yeah, you'll get used to, saying hi to, like, introducing yourself, and I think that's just a really good, life skill anyways, so do that. I don't know where Stronghold is at, but... Oh, cool, a cave. And another water cave. Diamonds. Honestly, I don't need any more diamonds. I already have, like, 24. Anyway, some of the funny stories, I guess, that I remember, like my first couple weeks of college. Because I don't know why, but like the first few weeks were just like super goofy. Um, the first week I was here is honestly pretty lonely because I was doing this program here, basically completely like super far away from home. I hadn't met anyone. none of my roommates were even here yet, so I was just in this dorm room by myself. Um, I hadn't talked to anyone at all, and the program was, it was good, but again, the first week it was just, it was kind of rough. And I think for most people it usually is because you're far away from home, you're by yourself, and, it sucks to be alone for like the first time, be on your own for the first time in your life, probably. But, I got through it, I survived, I didn't die. Uh, Only thing I will say is during this event or whatever you want to call it, wasn't actually really an event. It was like it's basically like a jump start to college, is what I would, I guess, call it. And basically, the story I was gonna say is one of the times we were doing this like a little water experiment. So we kind of got it was for engineering, so we did like different stages. Like the first couple days, we did stuff with like buildings. So we built like a paper house or something. It was kind of dumb, whatever. Um, the other day, I remember we did like we took these like, what do you call them? They're like landscaping things, and you like set them down, and you have to figure out like how level the ground is, and we were doing that another day, and then I think on like one of the last days, we were doing this water experiment, okay, where we had to like pressurize this tube, and we had to go in this like sciencey room, that type deal, and when I was going into it, they gave us this instructions like, oh, you're supposed to, go in here and you gotta like twist the pipe a little bit, or like the valve on it, let some water through and do the pipe. So me and my group, when we go up on this like platform to like turn the valve, everyone else is down below. There's like 20 people in this class. They're all watching. And then I was the person that had to go, open the valve. So I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. Um, but the problem was when I did it, um, I kept twisting it, and it's a valve. I think that's the correct term, but it's a valve. You're not supposed to just keep twisting it, because then I just kept letting water pressure through and letting it build up, and then I got water over my entire group of like 4 or 5 people, and it just was not a good first impression. I will say that. What the? Okay, there are so many zombies, but also, what is this room? Okay, that was weird. Anyways, like I said, I pushed the pipe. The water got all over, and also it was like dyed water, so it was like really annoying to get off. Um, but I mean, eventually I did get off. It was kind of whatever. Um, it was an interesting first experience, and then afterwards I made like a little drawing of the experience to the class, as like a little funny haha. I don't think people thought it was as funny, like I was kind of just making fun of myself, and it was like, we called him like the water elf, and the elf, I don't know what the drawing was for. I think it was like for the final project. And so I did like this water elf. I mean, it was kind of fun to make, to be honest, but oh, okay. Bro, where is the stronghold? So yeah, that was one story. I know a couple weeks later, when my roommates, they did eventually finally show up. Although we were like all my dorm mates are like really busy the first week for whatever reason. Obviously the first week they weren't there, but then the second week they were. I think they were doing like band, or some of them were doing band, and I was doing this like engineering program type ordeal. Also, keep in mind, I did software engineering. That has like nothing to do with the rest of the engineering majors, but through that program, we'd like experience them all. the apple. Hey, Duke, chill. There's also a bucket back there, but I think I'm good with the. I think I have 2 buckets because we got Gary the axolotl. The cave really sucks, to be honest. Oh wait, I have a map. I'm stupid. Where is the straw? It's not on the map. Around here somewhere. Okay, it's probably higher up in the world. I need to go back. So yeah, another story that I was going to talk about was the one where call it the comfort circle is what we called it for whatever reason. Basically, what it was so obviously the first week we're like introducing everyone to each other and like learning names and whatnot to just kind of figure out like who's our neighbor and whatnot. And so again, this actually wasn't at my dorm, I guess, building. It was at a different one. It was at like my friend's because I was visiting him. And so we ended up like just basically starting this like cult where we would go from room to room and we'd just be like, "Oh, hey, what's your name? What's your name? Oh, cool dorm. Can we get like a tour and whatnot?" And so we get a tour of the everyone's dorm, and then at the end of the tour, we'd just leave and go to the next one. So we just get more and more people in this group until eventually we had like I want to say like 10 to 15 people in a giant group just like wandering around from dorm to dorm looking for not really looking for anything. We're just kind of going around talking, getting to know each other. But we ended up in this one room where there was a carpet in the middle of the floor and whatnot. And I don't know why it was like really weird because everyone's being awkward. It's the first week, whatever. Um, Definitely some interesting times. So there's this carpet in the middle, right? And all of us are just like standing around this carpet, like no one's standing in the middle. And then we're all being like super quiet. And the one guy goes like, "Oh, why don't you go the stronghold?" Um, Only taken me like 10 episodes to get here, but whatever. So we were like looking or sorry. I got a little off track there. So we're sitting in the circle and the guy starts talking and he's like, "Oh, would you like to go in the middle or have someone go in the middle?" And we're like, "Okay." So one of the dudes like goes in the middle because this is an all guy floor. Also, if you don't know, dorms are separated between guy and gal floor. I don't know why I said it like that, but they're separate halls is what I'm saying. So this is just all guys, and it's weird, but basically someone stood in the middle, and somehow we started this trend of like each person in the circle would go in the middle, and like I think first we started doing like you show up like a different talent. So one of my friends who's really really good at like breakdancing and whatnot, he did that. And that was kind of cool. But again, it was weird because then oh, I already have diamond. What am I doing? And the weird part though was at a certain point we started doing like a chant. So every time we go in the circle, you'd have to like say a certain oh found the room. Leave me, bro. Okay, let me just take care of this thing. And so we got in this room. Oh, it's a 0i. I don't think I have enough. Okay, well, that sucks. So we got So when people were in the middle, I think we'd all like sing a song or something. It was weird. I don't remember exactly what happened. All I know is that the stuff that we did do was pretty goofy, and um, you know, it was called the Comfort Circle. I honestly can't recall everything that happened, but again, I'm losing my train of thought. Which is amazing when I'm trying to record a video. So, it's just really weird, I guess, because we were all standing in the circle. We'd have one person go in the middle, and we'd like sing a song or something. And this is like completely on our own, um, like way, I guess. Like we did this to ourselves. I don't know. We like all collectively agreed, like, oh, this is the comfort circle, and oh, this is, this is how we initiate you into the comfort circle. And once you get in the comfort circle, we gotta sing this song and do this like goofy dance, and then the person is basically allowed in the group. So I was just like, I don't know, we all just like, it was just weird because we all collectively agreed that like, oh, this is the cult and this is what we're doing, and like very fast too. This is like pretty quick. So yeah, I don't know how else to explain it other than that. We are too short. Okay. Well, I have the blaze rod, so we just need pearls. I could build a portal here. Here. What? No. Okay, well, that just went over everywhere. Now, the other story I was going to tell is, well, when we did kind of this exact same thing at my dorm, although instead of like gathering everyone in a circle and like dancing and stuff, which is really weird. Instead, I kind of did the similar thing where we went from room to room and we are like, oh, can we get a tour? And so I'm like, oh, this is pretty chill at first. And we're just going from room to room, kind of learning everyone's names. The only issue with that is that there's just way too many people for me to learn everyone's name. So, um, I never actually hung out with a lot of those guys ever since doing this first week tour thing. I wish I spent a little bit more time trying to memorize everyone's names, which, oh well, I guess. And so this thing kept going, but eventually it got to the point where we had finished all the dorms on our floor, and so we had to go up a floor to basically all the women's or girls, I don't know um correct term words. So, oh, I should, blue biome's all the way over there, so I might just have to go back. Like the chest in the stronghold. I'm just avoiding the story, aren't I? Anyways, we got to the girls' rooms, and I was just like, no one else wanted to... So, okay, at this point, I was the only one knocking on all the doors, because I was the one that kind of started, because I was like, you know what, I'm going to try and get out of my comfort zone more, um, when I came to college. 'Cause at this point, I had already done the whole, oh, what's your name? Oh, my name's this. Oh, what major are you doing and whatnot. So I'd already, like, passed the initial stage of awkwardness. I was like, you know what? I don't really care. I'll do the whole initiation thing again. And try and see how far I can get this to go, you know. And, you know, we went, like, we got, like, 20 dudes all together, and, to be, I guess, it was pretty successful, to say the least, with getting a bunch of people together and, you know, talking to each other for once, which is kind of sad, but I haven't talked to any of these guys since. So, other than, like, a few of them, which are in my classes, but other than that, I've not talked to any of them since this thing, so this was like a first week shenanigans, I like to call it. So once we get to the girls' room, at this point, I had knocked on every single door up until that point, so I'm like, surely someone else would go and do this, because this would probably be, like, the next step in getting out of my comfort zone, which I do not like doing, by the way. Dude, where are the pearls? So, no one stepped up to do this, which is kind of annoying. So, I ended up just, like, straight up leaving. I just, like, left the group. I kind of ran away. Kind of goofy. Whatever. That's a starter. So, but then I guess my friend, who was still in the group, kind of carried on with the whole thing. So I think what ended up happening is they didn't end up knocking on whoever's door that was. Instead, they ended up just, like, they ended up just going up to the next floor after that instead. And ended up just uh like getting more people from their floor, I guess, and did more tours. And it was so weird too, because when I was outside, or because I think I just ran away and I just ended up, like, outside, because I was like, I don't want to run back into these guys, because if I were to run down the hall back towards them, it would be and just, like, go hide in my dorm, like, that'd be super weird. So I ended up going outside instead. But it's so weird, because then as I'm outside, I kid you not, I look up towards the window, and this group of, like, 20 guys is just waving at me for, like, no apparent reason that I just gathered. So I don't know, just a goofy experience, I would say, in general. So all of this happened, and by the end, it was, I think they kept going for, like, a few more dorms, but then after that, it was about the end of that. So they'd finished up, and I think everyone just kind of dispersed and went back to their own dorms, or dorm rooms, I guess. So yeah, those are a few goofy stories about my college and my college experiences. Hope you enjoyed watching. Honestly surprised someone watched all the way to the very end with all my beach mishaps and incorrect storyline, but well, see you next time. Bye.